Hello friends, in our previous lecture we have completed sales book with simple sales book and columnar sales book with goods. Now we are moving forward towards the third type, that is purchase return. Okay, let's write. So everyone will write number 3, purchase returns book. Okay. Again, specimen for simple purchase returns book. Specimen for simple purchase returns book. Which are the columns? Date. Now again friends, we have learned purchase book and sales book. For purchases we are having name of supplier, for sales we are having name of customer. Now this is purchase returns which is related to purchase only, so again name of supplier only will come. Name of supplier. Now if we are looking to the specimen of purchase book, name of supplier, after that we are having inward invoice number, which is a type of bill number and which shows that goods are coming in. And in sales book it is outward invoice number which shows that goods are going out. Now here again goods are coming in, but goods are coming in through purchase return. So again we are having a new bill, that is debit note number. What is this debit note number? It is also a type of bill number which shows that goods are coming in through, goods are going out through purchase returns. Goods are going out through purchase returns. And why the name is debit only? Because we are purchasing goods, we are debiting purchase. Now that goods are going out, so we are to return back the goods. Though the goods which are debited first are returned back. So debit note number, LF number, amount in rupees. So friends, this is the format. Okay, for a simple purchase returns book. Then at last, total credit purchase returns. Total credit purchase returns. In the same way, number 2, specimen for columnar purchase book with type of goods. Okay, same columns and little change, as you know. Date, name of supplier, debit note number, LF number. Now for amount in rupees, first type goods, second type goods, third type goods, and finally total amount. Again, total credit purchase returns. So this is the format for purchase returns. Okay, now we are going to see the sum. Now see friends, personally there will be no sum for purchase returns. There will be sum for both purchase and purchase returns. Okay, so it is not possible that sum will be there which is only carrying purchase returns and sales returns. If you want to prepare a purchase return, first you need to prepare a purchase book. Okay. So sum number 10, page number 154. From the following, prepare purchase book and purchase returns book in the books of account of Gujarat Traders. Again, goods are not specified, so purchase and purchase returns book are simple without any boundaries. So first we need to pick it. Okay. Question number 10. Purchase book of Shri Gujarat Traders. Date, name of supplier, inward invoice number, LF number, amount in rupees. Now prepare this for 8 lines. Okay. Why 8 lines? Because transactions are more. We don't know that which are the transactions coming, so expecting it for 8 lines. Okay. As per the data, I can see that 8 lines are enough. If in exam, if you want more lines, then you keep more lines. It's not a problem. Okay. Now down to it, I will draw. Purchase returns book of Shri Gujarat Traders. Date, name of supplier, debit note number, LF number, amount in rupees. This you can draw for 4 to 5 lines. As after this nothing is coming, so if you are drawing for lesser line, then also it is okay. After this, after completing the sum, we will write the notes. Okay, so now that tension is not there. Yeah. So the drawing work is over. Now let's go for the sum. Okay. On 1st January 2018, goods purchased. So first we should decide that where it will come in purchase or purchase returns, or it will not come in both of the books. Purchase goods of 1 lakh at 5% rate discount from Punjab stores. As we have not paid the amount, it is credit purchase, so we are writing in purchase book 1/1/18. If you are not writing Shri or writing Shri, it is not a problem. Punjab stores account. Now 1 lakhs minus 5%. 1 lakh minus 5% is 95,000. Bill number is not given. Okay. Goods purchased of 60,000 on credit of 1 month from Maharashtra stores, trade discount 10%, bill number 330. Again, goods are purchased and they are on credit, so we will record in purchase book on 3rd January 3/1/18. Maharashtra stores account. Bill number is given as 330. 60,000 minus 10 percentage. So 60,000 minus 10 and percentage, it is 54,000. You use your calculator, I am using my calculators. 60,000 minus 10 and percentage. Next, on 10th, goods purchased of 50,000 from Kerala stores on credit and 50% amount is paid immediately. We are purchasing the goods and we are paying only half amount, so full amount will be considered as credit and recorded in purchase book itself. So on 10th January, 10/1/18, Kerala stores account. Okay, bill number is not given. Yes, 50,000 and no trade discount is given, so directly 50,000. Goods are purchased on credit, half amount is paid. Okay. Now on 17th January, 1/3 goods is returned to Maharashtra stores along with debit note number 43 of appropriate amount sent. The goods which we have purchased from Maharashtra stores, now we are returning back, so it will come in purchase returns. And how much? 1/3. So 1/3 of the amount which we have returned. Okay, here now trade discount is not required. Already this is net amount. So on 17th January 2018, Maharashtra stores account, debit note number is given as 43 and goods are 1/3. So 54,000 into 1/3 is 18 3s are 54. So 18,000. Goods of 18,000 are. Next, 21st, goods purchased of 40,000 at 10% trade discount from Rajasthan stores. Rajasthan stores sends invoice number 160 after adding 5% GST and labor for. Okay, underline this GST and labor. These both things will not be recorded because these are the expense we will record it separately. So underline it, and again the remaining transaction will come in purchase book. So on 21st January 2018. Rajasthan stores account. Invoice number is 160. Now goods are of 40,000 at 10% trade discount. 40,000 minus 10% is 36,000, and the expenses will not be recorded. We will write it separately. Next, on 25th, goods purchased of 50,000 on credit from Uttar Pradesh stores. Credit period is out of 2 months and trade discount is 10%. Bill number 380. Again, we are purchasing the goods and we have not paid the amount, so it will also be a credit transaction. So on 25th January 2018, Uttar Pradesh stores account, bill number is 380. Now 50,000 and 10% trade discount. 50,000 minus 10% is 45,000. Next, out of total goods purchased from Uttar Pradesh stores, 30% goods is returned along with a debit note number 44 cent. Previously we have returned 1/3 goods. Here we have to receive, here we have to give 30% of goods back. So we are returning back. So in the purchase returns book 29/1/18, we are returning to Uttar Pradesh stores. So Uttar Pradesh stores account, debit note number is 44 and the amount will be 45,000 multiplied 30%. 45,000 multiplied 30% is 3,500. Okay. Next, an order of goods purchased of 80,000 at 10% rate discount is placed to Madhya Pradesh stores, we are placing an order, non-economic transaction. Goods of 30,000 purchased at 10% rate discount and 5% cash discount on cash from Haryana stores. So again, it will not be recorded. Okay, so last two transactions are not recorded. Now we shall take the total. Total credit purchases 95,000, 54,000, 50,000, 36,000, 45,000, 2,80,000. We can check once. 95, 54, 50, 36, 45. Then total credit purchase returns 18,000, 13,500, 31,500. Okay, so friends, we have completed this sum where purchase and purchase returns book were there, and mostly when these things are asked, when two books are asked together, mostly it will be simple only, it will not be with columns. Okay, now nextly we are going for sales return book. Let's write the, before write the notes, then again I will forget it. Sum is not over actually, I am sorry. We'll write the notes. Okay, first we have recorded 3rd, 10th, 17th, 21st we have recorded, but there are expense. So let's write that 21,180. GST and labor will be recorded in journal pro. 25th we have recorded, 29th we have recorded, 30 and 31 we have not recorded. Okay. 31,80. We have placed an order, so non-economic transaction. 31,180. We have purchased goods on cash. So goods purchased on. Okay, friends, now the whole sum is completed. Now after this we are going to write the specimen for sales return book, and we will then do the sum. So first compare the purchase returns with sales return. In purchase book, date then name of supplier. In sales book, date then name of customer. Then here inward invoice number, then sales book is having outward invoice number. Then everything is same. Now comparing to purchase, the purchase returns book is having the name of supplier. So the sales return book will have the name of sales, that is name of customer. And there it is, here it is debit note number. So sales it will have credit note number. What is the reason between here debit note and there credit note? Here first goods purchased are debited to purchase account, so they are written, so debit note number. And sales is always credited in in the journal entry. So the credit goods which we are selling are written back to us for credit note number. Okay, so we are writing the format. Number 4, sales returns book. Number 1, specimen for simple sales returns book. So as we have discussed, date, name of customer, because sales book is having name of customer, here also name of customer. Then these sold goods are always credit, so credit note number. Sales is always credit, so the goods which are credited are written back, so credit note number, LF number, amount in rupees. Total credit sales returns. Number 2, specimen for columnar sales returns book with types of goods. Date, name of customer, credit note number, LF number, amount in rupees. First type goods, second type goods, third type goods, total amount in rupees. Total credit sales returns. So friends, this is the format or specimen for sales return book. Now we shall solve the 11th sum, which is having sales book and sales return book. So first we shall read. From the following transactions, prepare sales book and sales return book in the books of accounts of Pratibha Furniture Mart. See, this is Pratibha Furniture Mart. So for us the goods are furniture. Okay. Now furniture will be goods for us. So question number 11. Sales book of Pratibha Furniture Mart. Date, name of customer, outward invoice number, LF number, amount in rupees. Again draw it for 7 times. sales returns book of Pratibha Furniture Mart. Date. Name of customer. Credit note number. LF number. Amount in rupees. Employee 445 lakhs. Now we are starting the sum. On 1st September 2018, goods of 10,000, 10% cash discount sold to Rajesh Furniture Mart. He has paid half them. We are selling the goods to Rajesh Furniture Mart. They are giving half amount. So full amount is credit sales only. So 1980. Rajesh Furniture Mart account. Now no bill number is given. Now goods are of 10,000. Cash discount 10% is given. That is not to be applied because first we are considering whole transaction as credit. If trade discount was given, then we have subtracted. Cash discount is given, so directly write 10,000. Don't write 10,000 minus 10%, that is 9,000. Because here cash discount is given. Here cash discount is given, friends. Trade discount is not given, so we have to write only 10,000. Don't subtract that discount. It will only be subtracted while paying them. On 5th, goods of 8,000 at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount sold to Pushpa. Credit period 1 month. Bill number 130 sent by adding 100 of labor charge. Underline 100 of labor charge. We will record it in notes. 5980. Pushpa account. Bill number 130. Now 8,000 and 10% trade discount is there. So 8,000 minus 10 and percentage 7,200. 12th, goods of 4,000 sold at 10% trade discount and 5% cash discount. This will not be recorded as no name is given, so this is totally cash transaction. 15th, goods of 5,000 is returned by Rajesh Furniture Mart. Goods received back, thus credit note number 16. We have sold goods to Rajesh, now they are returning back. 15,980. Rajesh Furniture Mart account. Credit note number is 16. Now goods of 5,000. They are returning goods of 5,000. So let's directly write 5,000. 20. An old machine sold to Manju on credit for 3,000. Credit period 1 month. Now by mistakenly don't write here because we are selling an asset, machine. Here we are doing the business of furniture, so this will not be recorded. Goods sold of 30,000 at 5% credit discount to Harish. Invoice number 136 sent by adding 5% GST and 200 labor charge. This will be recorded, but underline that GST and labor charge, that will not be recorded. 22,980. Harish account. Bill number 136. Okay. 30,000 minus 5%. 30,000 minus 5 percentage, so 28,500. Underline this GST and labor charge, we will write in notes. Goods sold of 20,000 to Nita on credit for 1 month. Trade discount 10% and cash discount 10%. Now we are selling the goods again to Nita, not paying the amount. So this is credit transaction. So again it will be recorded 23,918 Nita account. Okay, bill number is not given. Goods are of 20,000, trade discount is 10%. Don't subtract cash discount. 20,000 minus 10% is 18,000. Last, an order for goods of 15,000 received from location. Order is received, not incomplete transaction. Okay. Here only one transaction is there. $10,000, 7,200, 28,500, 18,000, 49,300. See, there can be variation in answers. Okay, backside the answers which are given, there can be variation because book is new but answers are old. Okay, so don't refer previous answers. Okay, now notes. There are lots of mistakes in previous answers. Okay, which we have not recorded, which we have underlined. Okay, for fifth transaction, labor charge 5,980. Labor charges will be recorded to journal proper. Then first, fifth, 12th. Now 12th we have not recorded. 12,980. Goods are sold on cash. Then 15th return balance is 28th. Sales of an asset. Then 22nd, 980. GST and labor charge will be recorded to journal proper. Then 23rd we have recorded and 20. Okay, now directly 3980. Non-economic transaction. Okay, friends. So today we have completed 10th and 11th, where we have purchase returns, sales returns. So now next sums we will go for tomorrow. 12th sum is having 4 books: purchase return, sales return. So 4 books we have to prepare in 12th sum. Then 13th sum is, I think is, yes, 13th sum is not required, and again 14th sum. So again only 2 sums are left for this chapter. Then we will start next chapter in account. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.